Namaste and welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Grab a couple of yoga blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a pillow, and whatever additional props that you might have around, such as a chair and additional pillows, just in case. And let's begin in supported bridge pose. So as you come to lie down on your back, take a block with you. Set your 2 feet on the ground, hips distance apart and parallel to each other. And then lifting your hips, place the block wide across your sacrum, the flat part of your lower back, and make sure that you feel comfortably, stably supported here as you keep your feet on the ground. And then let your palms turn up, walk the shoulder blades down your back ribs, tilt the chin slightly away from the chest to open your throat, and maybe even close your eyes. Let's take a moment here in this position to arrive mentally and physically in your practice. Sensing the points of contact between your body and the ground as well as the prop. And from here, beginning to feel the sensations that are moving throughout your body right now with more attentiveness. Sense the way you feel at the bottom of each foot, and slowly lift your gaze up your legs and all around, taking your time to observe your physical body. And with this observation, cultivating an attitude of non-judgmental friendliness, a caring curiosity. Notice if there's any particular area in your body that need a bit more of your nurturance and loving attention. Now bring your awareness to your breathing as you continue to breathe naturally. Sensing the depth, the pace, anything you can sense about the breath. And through this, notice the way you feel energetically right now. And that brings us to our investigation in today's practice. What are the things that are happening in your life right now that you might be entertaining or spending much time doing that drain your energy? And in contrast, what are the things that you are spending time on that give you energy or that promote and uplift your energy? So taking a moment of self-reflection. The fall season, as we watch nature shed leaves from trees so that the trees can preserve themselves and really get more nutrients from the roots, so that through this death or this shedding, they can then rise and rebirth and continue to sustain their lives. Moving into the next seasons, winter and then spring. So being part of nature ourselves, are there any things that you could bring intention to shed? Things that you might be spending time and energy on, whether mentally or physically, that drain your energy. And there are things that promote your energy. What could you allow yourself to experience more of? Now start to notice your mind's activity. As you might be reflecting on these things, notice what comes up for you and notice the thoughts that may tend to loop, create a pattern. And as you observe your mind, notice how you are feeling right now mentally and emotionally. Very much so, the thoughts we entertain affect our energy. So now, as you're resting here in supported bridge pose, lying on the floor, call to mind something you're grateful for. Maybe thinking about the things that had to come together in order for you to be right here now, creating space for your practice. Invite a deeper inhalation, opening up your front body as your chest expands. And with any sound, exhale through the mouth. Again, inhaling a little slower. As you start to clarify one thing you would like to focus your mind and energy on expanding. In what way do you want to uplift your own energy through this practice? Setting your intention. And then call to mind someone or something that you would choose to dedicate today's practice to as a means of sharing the positive energy from it, as well as opening yourself up to all possibilities. Continue to deepen your breath into the nose, out to the lips, as you now remove the block from underneath your lower back, lowering your pelvis onto the ground. And then gently roll over to one side, pressing your hands into the earth, rising up to a comfortable seat. You might place your hands at your heart center or join them in prayer as we open the practice, chanting together 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. As you close your lips, continue to breathe just through your nose. And we're going to begin a practice called 3-part breathing, or Durga Pranayama, a way to ground ourselves with embodied presence, calm the nervous system, and really invite the fullness of each breath. So with that, imagine that your torso from your pelvic floor to the top of your neck is a jar. Divide that jar into 3 cross sections. The bottom or first cross section is from your pelvic floor to your belly button, all the way around. The second or mid cross section encompasses much of your rib cage. And the third or uppermost cross section includes your neck, chest, shoulders, upper back, all the way around. So place your hands on your lower back, lower belly, if that feels okay for you, and inhale into this first cross section through the nose. Hold the breath in and notice how this feels. Then through your nose, exhale slowly. Hold the breath out and notice how that feels. Now place your hands on the left and right walls of your rib cage and inhale into this mid cross section. Again, hold the breath, observe, keep sitting tall and relaxed, then empty the breath. Hold the breath out. Now place your hands on your chest, breathing into your uppermost cross section. And as you hold the breath, relax the shoulders, lift through your crown. Exhale everything. Hold the breath again and notice. Now, placing one hand on your chest, one hand on your lower belly, let's divide the inhalation into 3 parts. 1/3 into the lowest cross section, 1/3 into the middle, and 1/3 into the uppermost, where we'll then hold the breath. Then we'll exhale everything very slowly out through the nose and hold the breath at the bottom. And that's one cycle of 3-part breathing. Let's try 3 cycles together and then 2 cycles on your own. If you're sitting cross-legged, you might like to switch the cross of your shin, that is forward or on top, just to even out your hips as we stay in this position a little longer. All right, let's prepare. Exhale this breath out. Hold the breath out. Into the lowest cross section, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the middle, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the top, inhale the last third. Holding your breath, relax your body and observe it. Exhale slowly, everything. Holding your breath, sit tall and observe. Cycle 2, inhale the first third. Pause, inhale the second. Pause, inhale the top. Hold the breath. Slowly let it go. Hold the breath. Third cycle. Inhale 1/3. Pause, inhale second third. Pause, inhale the last third. Hold. Slowly empty everything. Hold there. Now continue 2 more cycles on your own. Take your time to finish at your pace. And when you do, breathing naturally, observe the way you feel after practicing Durga Pranayama. Now I invite you to continue into another breathing technique which will bring us into moving our body. And that is Ujjayi Pranayama, a way to calm your nervous system and steady your mind. It's done by closing your lips, sustaining your breath so that you breathe in slowly through all 3 parts without pausing, and breathe out just as slowly with the lips closed, while creating a gentle whispering sound by softly narrowing the back of your throat. Listen to a few cycles of that style of breathing. It translates as victorious breathing. Cultivate a smooth and gentle sound. That sound serves as an anchor for your mind, bringing it back to the present moment each time you notice your attention go astray. So as you keep listening to that sound, let's stretch the legs in front of you. And if it helps you to sit up tall, go ahead and grab a prop to sit on. And we're just going to give the ankles a little stretch and movement, as we had a request for some ankle mobility. So circle out your feet as you breathe. Treat it like a vinyasa flow. So take your time, breathe in, moving the feet in one direction, breathe out. Keep going. How much attention have you given your ankles and feet today? Switch direction. Notice how the range of motion might change as you're circling your feet for a while. Yin and restorative yoga are practices that really help us to welcome stillness. They're a helpful way to prepare to meditate. So we slow things down, very counterintuitive to a fast-paced world if you live in a busy city. like Los Angeles. And then now start to flex your feet, which means curl your toes back towards your shins and point your feet. Flex, breathe in. And point, breathe out. So slow it down, treat it like cat-cow pose for your feet. So really feel the range as you're moving through the breath in and as you're moving the toes in one direction. Feel the sensations that arise through each part of the movement. Not rushing through to get anywhere particular, but honoring each part of the movement and breath as the destination itself. Three more cycles of breath. Notice any sensations that might be arising in your calves or your shin region as you're doing this movement. All right, one more. So now a lateral movement in the feet. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit more so you can see my feet a little easier. There we go. So windshield wiper, keep your legs still. You can even press your hands on the tops of your thighs and then start to turn the soles of your feet like their eyeballs are right here at the balls of your feet to look over to the left. So the right foot sickles, and then turn the soles of your feet to look over to the right. Look over to the left. Go with the breath. Look over to the right. Look over to the left. Look over to the right. Two more. Cycles of breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, so now let's get a little bit more up towards the ankles and feet. So come on down to hands and knees. Point your toes behind you and then walk your hands back. If your knees are sensitive to sitting directly on your calves, you can take your folded blanket, make it as thick of a fold as needed. The thicker, the more support for the knees, and place the smooth part of the fold right up against the backs of your knees like this. Unless you feel fine sitting directly on the calves. Now place one hand on your knee and start to lift it off the ground as you keep the tops of your feet flat on the floor. Let's take 5 breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Relax your eyes on one spot to gaze at. And notice how you're moving the inhalation through all 3 parts of your torso. One more deep breath here. And then release that knee. Let's switch. Lifting the opposite knee, point the toes on the ground. 5 breaths here. Now notice your exhalations and listen to the breaths out. Fine-tuning, lengthening the exhales just as slowly as the inhales. One more full breath here. Now, as you lower that knee, come forward onto hands and knees and tap gently the tops of your feet onto the ground. Just getting a little more warmth and blood flow into your feet. Kind of like you're throwing a loving tantrum. Take a deep breath. Open the mouth, stick out the tongue. 2 more lion's breaths. Last one. Make any sound. Now tuck your toes behind you and start to walk your hands back, feeling into how much weight you want to place onto your feet here. You adjust by leaning back or leaning forward. And if you're sitting upright, really sit upright. Soften the front ribs in, lengthen through the top of your head. So now we're stretching into the soles of the feet where lie many energy channels. If you're sitting completely upright, you might backstroke your arms and start to warm up your shoulders, placing your hands onto your lower back as you would for camel pose. Pointing the fingertips down as you hug the elbows closer and closer together to encourage your chest to broaden. We're here for about 4 more breaths. As you lift the back of your skull, parallel your chin towards the ground. Lengthen your tailbone downward and draw your navel inward towards your lower back. One more full breath here. And then come on back to tabletop pose. And as you stack your shoulders on top of your wrists, spin out your hands and let's stretch the wrists and the forearms. So whatever degree feels comfortable, either fingertips facing towards the left and right edges of your mat, or maybe to some degree facing your knees. Step your knees a couple inches behind your hips, and let's begin to move the spine in flexion and extension with the breath pace. As you inhale, draw your chest forward and coil it up, entering cow pose. As you exhale, contract your abdomen, dropping your head to round your back, entering cat pose. Again, inhale, draw your sternum forward, roll your shoulders behind you, and gaze up. Exhale, lift your abdomen, drop your tailbone, and drop your head. 3 more cycles of breath. Biralasana is the Sanskrit name for these postures. When you finish the next exhale, relax to neutral spine, lean back onto your shins again, and we're going to give the outer wrist a stretch to counter that stretch in the wrist. So give yourself a fist bump, fist to fist, keep that, and then place the backs of your fists on the ground about a foot in front of your knees, flaring your elbows apart off the ground. Gently begin to lean forward to find just the amount of weight you want to place on your outer fists to stretch your outer wrists and forearms. Relax the shoulders away from your neck and lengthen the top of your head forward. You might even gently, slowly shake your head no for a few more breaths here, just to help loosen your neck, softening your jaw, softening your tongue and eyes. And then when you're ready, release your hands and shake out your arms. Make your way into downward facing dog, spreading your fingers wide and flat. See your index fingers pointing straight ahead or slightly turned out. Tuck your toes and lift your hips as high as you can and start to pedal slowly your feet in place. So as you root one heel down, take a full cycle of breath, helping to lengthen the back of that straight leg. And then switch sides. Treat this like a vinyasa flow, slowly moving to a mindful breath pace. Actively using your hands to press into the ground as if pushing your mat away from your feet. Let the shoulders rise away from your neck as you completely relax your neck. Maybe start to nod your head yes a few times, loosening your neck. Shake your head no a few more times. And let your shoulder blades spread wide across your upper back by rotating the outer sides of your upper arms or triceps towards the ground. Pressing your chest towards your shins, hug your front ribs towards your back and press the front tops of your thigh bones further back as you sink your heels closer and closer to the ground. Now land your eyes on one spot and let's listen to 2 more deep breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana. After this exhale, walk up to the front of your mat into a standing forward fold with your feet at least hips width apart and parallel to each other. Bend your knees generously and use your hands to hold opposite elbows as you drop your torso and head freely. Beginning to slowly sway your spine like a gentle pendulum side to side. Breathing in, breathing out. Continue to regulate your energy to a feeling state of balance by balancing your in and out breaths. The inhales are energizing by nature, and the exhales are grounding and calming by nature. So keep that balance. Bend your knees a bit more and reach the hands behind your lower back. Interlace your fingers or hold a strap between the hands. As you breathe in, lift your chest and pull your spine forward. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, fold down towards your legs, dropping the head, stretch the arms away from your lower back. Bend your elbows slightly and lift your shoulders away from your neck. Maybe shake the head some more and tilt your weight forward as far forward as you can balance. Remember to bend the knees to prevent strain in the back of your body. 2 more breaths in this version of standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Then drop your arms and let your arms, head, and torso hang freely while you bend the knees. As you breathe in, slowly roll your spine upright as if stacking one vertebra at a time, lifting your head last. Roll your shoulders behind you, exhaling them down as you turn your palms to face forward in Tadasana, mountain pose. Spread your weight evenly throughout the 4 corners of each foot as you spread your toes, activating the muscles in your legs as you stand tall. Stack your shoulders right above your hips, right above your ankles, and imagine breathing into the soles of your feet from the earth, lifting that energy up your legs, up your whole body, up to your crown. And as you exhale, releasing any sort of stagnancy, any sort of deterrent to open energy flow all the way back down to your soles. 2 more breaths like that. Imagine it. Your mind is powerful, and when you can tame your mind, you step into your power. Skillfully regulating your energy. Let's start to move again to the breath, practicing half sun salutations. Bring your hands together at your heart and remember your intention for your practice. Let's bring that intention into this movement. On your inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders behind your ears and drop them as you tilt the chest and gaze up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bow from your hips with a long spine, bending your knees if needed. Place your fingertips on your legs or blocks or the floor and inhale, lengthen your spine forward parallel to the ground, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow again into Uttanasana. Root down to your feet, inhale, sweep your arms forward and overhead as you rise into a gentle back bend in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands down your center line as if blessing your energy centers back to your heart. 2 more cycles. Inhale, raise your arms in Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up. Exhale, bow forward in Uttanasana. Press with your fingertips and inhale, lengthen forward in Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow again. Rooting down, inhale, rise up into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands at your heart in Padasana. One more time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Root down to rise, inhaling to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back to the heart center. So we're going to add a bit more movement laterally, going in diagonal ways. Helps to get the mind awake too. So separate your feet now about shoulders width apart, and we'll practice a simple Qigong exercise of helping to tap into the kidney region, which is at your lowest back rib. So bend the knees slightly so that you're like a flexible tree that can move with the wind but stay grounded. And then start at your waistline, start to twist your torso. Let the arms just flail freely so that as you're twisting, the arms start to tap the area of your kidneys. Breathe in, breathe out. You can twist faster than the breath. Just getting some movement here in the mid portion of your torso, twisting mostly across your waistline. You got about 5 more breaths of this movement. Tapping into the region of your kidneys where your adrenal glands sit. Those fight or flight adrenal glands. One more deep breath. And then inhale, raise your arms overhead. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand and start to side bend to your right as you root your left foot deeply into the earth. Keep your 2 frontal hip bones evenly facing forward, so you're not twisting here. You're only laterally extending your spine. Breathe into the left side of your torso. Relax your shoulders away from your neck. One more breath. Draw your belly in and inhale, rise up. Take hold of your right wrist, plug the right foot down and lift the spine, side bending to the left. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Imagine your tailbone like a heavy anchor rooting towards the earth between your heels. Breathe into your right side body. One more breath. Inhale, rise up and release the arms. Take your 2 blocks, please, and we're going to add some movement into the lower part of the body, the pelvis, the hips, the legs. So place your blocks to frame your outer heels as you have your feet hips width apart. Placing the blocks on their tallest height, step your left knee behind you onto the ground, entering a kneeling lunge. Make sure that your right knee is directly on top of your right heel, not in front of the heel, and that the middle of your knee and your middle toe are pointing directly forward. So let's move to the breath. Inhale here as you sink your hips and relax your shoulders. Tuck the back toes and exhale, lift the back knee. Scissor your right outer hip back to whatever degree you can straighten both legs. And with a flat back, start to hinge from your hips. This is a wide version of pyramid pose. Inhale, lower your back knee, return to a kneeling lunge. Exhale, lift your back knee into pyramid pose. 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Step your left foot to meet the right foot and switch the right knee to the ground. Second side of this movement. Make sure your left knee is directly on top of the heel and the middle toe and middle of the kneecap continue to face forward. Inhale here, sinking your hips, relaxing your shoulders down. Tuck your back toes and exhale, lift your back knee. Scissor your left outer hip back to whatever degree you can comfortably straighten your legs and bow from your hips, cultivating a flat back. Pyramid pose. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Last 2 rounds. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. And exhale, pyramid. This time, lower your back knee and set your left knee behind you. And come on down to sit, and we're going to prepare to enter a restorative posture that externally rotates the thighs as well as stretches into the back body. And that's bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. So as you're sitting and dropping the knees apart, notice if your spine wants to round. If that happens, grab something that you can sit up on as high as you need to sit up. And that can also help to drop the knees more easily, especially if you're feeling tightness around the hip flexors. And then from here, choose to place a block in front of your toes or a stack of blocks or pillows, because we're going to fold forward and try to keep as much of a flat back without being rigid. And we're going to be here in this forward fold for about a couple of minutes. So root your sitting bones, bring the heels as comfortably close to your pelvis as you can, and roll your shoulders back and down. Seal in the bottom of your front ribs and lengthen through the back of your skull. Breathe in. Notice this open space at your throat and try to keep that open as you're bowing slowly from your hips. And adjust your props so that you can comfortably land your forehead on them. Relax your arms and shoulders and keep your throat open. We'll be here for the next 2 minutes. Resting your awareness on the sound of your breath, regulating your breath to balance the energizing inhales with the calming exhales. Listen to 2 more cycles of breath here before you slowly press your hands into the ground and lift your head and torso upright. Then slide your left leg out to its side and step your right foot in front of you off to the right. So here, use your strap to start, and you may find it that you might not need it, but at least you can start with that support and let go of it if you don't need it. Step the ball of your left foot into the loop or middle of the strap. Hand the strap over to your right hand and cross your left arm in front of you to catch hold of your outer right shin or ankle. Bring that foot as close to your pelvis as you comfortably can so you can take a nice grip of that leg with your left hand. So your arms are crossed here, right? Root down to your sitting bones as much as you can and flex the left foot into the strap like you're trying to pull the strap away with the foot as you're pulling the strap away with the right hand. And then start to lift your spine a little bit taller, relax the shoulders, bring the right arm overhead, and then drop the right thigh as you're pulling the ankle or shin. So there's resistance going in different ways as you're leaning sideways towards your left leg. Spiral your chest slightly towards the sky and keep relaxing the shoulders away from your neck. We're here for 10 breaths. Notice where you're feeling sensations arise or become stronger. Breathe into those parts of your body. And then inhale, slowly rise up. Remove the strap. Step the ball of your right foot into the strap. And stretch the right leg out to its side. Step your left foot off to the left side in front of your pelvis. Hand the strap over to your left hand. Kick into the strap with your right foot flexed as you're pulling the strap with the left arm. Use your right hand as you cross the right arm in front of you to hold your shin, your left shin, or your outer ankle. Root down to your two sitting bones, lift up your spine and drop the shoulders. And as you splay open the left thigh, pull the ankle or shin towards you so there's counter forces here. As you raise the left arm overhead and walk the left hand down the strap towards your right foot, side bending towards your right leg. Spin your chest slightly towards the sky, and let's count 10 slow breaths here. One more deep breath. When you're finished, draw in the belly and inhale to slowly rise up. Let's put the strap aside for now. Stretch your left leg in front of you. And step your right foot either in front of the hip or outside of the left knee. Let's prepare for a seated twist. And you might also bend the left knee here. Just make sure you can sit evenly through both sitting bones. Place the right hand on the floor behind your pelvis and raise your left arm. Root down through every part of your body touching the ground to lift up your spine as you breathe in. Keep your pelvis still and begin to rotate your rib cage to the right as you breathe out. Lowering your left arm to hold your top leg or hooking the elbow outside of that thigh. Keep rooting down to lift up with each inhale and rotating the rib cage further with your exhales, relaxing the shoulders, lifting through the back of your skull. About 7 more breaths here. Notice how those side bends that we spent some time on might be affecting your spinal twists or your range of motion in the twist. One more deep breath. On your exhale, unwind your spine, straighten your left leg forward, and hug your right thigh as close to your left thigh as you can, coming into half cow face pose, Ardha Gomukhasana. So either reach hold of your left foot with 2 hands or use a strap. You want to keep the feeling of a flat back where the shoulders can relax and your throat is open. Root your sitting bones down and flex your left foot, sitting tall as you breathe in. Then reach your sternum forward as you're breathing out. 10 breaths here. One more breath. Press down through your pelvis. Breathe in, lifting your chest and spine. So let's begin with a twist on the second side. Extend the right leg forward, step the left foot on the floor in front of your left hip or outside your right knee, in which you might also bend the right knee. Go for the same version of the pose as much as possible as you did on the first side to cultivate balance. Place the left hand behind your pelvis, raise your right arm, and press into the ground as you sit taller, breathing in. Exhale, begin to twist to the left, lower your right arm to hold the leg, or hook your elbow outside of it, breath by breath, for 10 more breaths. On your exhale, unwind your spine, straighten your right leg in front of you, and hug the left thigh as close to the right thigh as you can for Ardha Gomukhasana. Choose to use a strap around your right foot flexed or to hold the foot, as long as you're not rounding the shoulders. Root your sitting bones down, breathe in, lengthen your spine. Exhale little by little, 10 breaths to fold. Keep lengthening your neck and relaxing your shoulders. Root to your sitting bones. Inhale, slowly rise up. Grab a pillow or block and let's lower onto our backs for a supported, restorative inversion in supported shoulder stand. So line your back, lift your hips, place the block or pillow under the flat part of your lower back, and then raise your legs straight up. You might like to rest your palms face down on your belly here as a way to add some gentle weight for grounding. The shoulders relax away from your neck, down your back, and maybe close your eyes. So here we're encouraging circulation from your feet down your legs into your digestive organs, back to the heart and to the brain. If you spend much of the day sitting, walking, being upright, standing, this is a great way to just help reset your system internally, restoring balance. And inviting calmness to your nervous system. Let's take a few longer exhales where we breathe in through the nose and fill up your belly for 5 counts. And we breathe out through the nose and soften the belly for 7 counts. Empty this breath to prepare. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax the breath. Allow your body to just breathe on its own now, no longer controlling your breath, but staying aware of the breath, which is your bridge between your body and your mind. Gently step one foot onto the ground and then the other. Lifting your hips, remove any prop from underneath your body and hug your bent knees into your chest. Choose to splay your knees apart in happy baby or circle your legs open and closed for a few more breaths before we lower to rest in Shavasana. Take the time to set up your body in a position in which you can completely relax it. If your lower back is feeling any sort of stiffness, you might place a rolled up blanket or a pillow underneath the backs of your knees. Let your feet splay apart wider than your hips distance and really let them just drop. As you turn the palms up, roll your shoulders back and walk the shoulder blades down your back. Take a moment to gently turn your head until you can find the most relaxed and neutral position in your neck. Then close your eyes and feel your hands. Let your hands soften. Feel your pelvic floor relax, the area of your anus, pelvic region. Bring your attention down to your feet. Soften both soles of your feet. Now feel into your face and relax your ears, both inside and outside. Soften your tongue. Relax all the corners of your eyes, inside and outside. Rest your awareness here in the present as we lie in stillness for a few more minutes of Shavasana. Continue to rest here in stillness with eyes closed. And allow a moment to mentally scan your whole body again. Has anything changed in the way you feel physically? Very gently begin to turn your head slowly. Feel the sensations along your neck. Gently move your fingers, your toes. Feel the sensations in your hands and feet. And then gradually roll over onto your right side, resting your head. Now bring your attention back to the breath as you naturally breathe. Notice how your practice has affected the way you feel now, energetically. And carefully press your hands into the ground and slowly lift your body up to sit in any comfortable way in which you can feel grounded, balancing the weight throughout your pelvis, alert, sitting tall through the spine, and at ease, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your body. Place your hands in a gesture or mudra that cultivates a feeling of awareness, of presence, like stacking the palms face up on your lap with thumb tips touching. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead, and let's begin our 5 minutes sitting in meditation. Start by choosing an anchoring point in which you can rest your awareness that is in the present moment. This might be where in your body that you can feel the breath naturally. Now, meditation is an opportunity to become more aware of the patterns and tendencies of your own mind. So as you rest your attention on your breathing, notice moments in which your attention might go away from the breath into a thought or something else. If and when that happens, observe first where your attention has gone. Then notice how this feels to you, how this feels in your body. Then gently, with friendliness to yourself, re-guide your attention back to the place in your body where you can feel the breath. Doing this over and over again as many times as your attention goes astray. Notice the way you feel now mentally and emotionally. What came up for you during your meditation? What did you notice? What are the patterns in your mind that either drain your energy or sustain or promote your energy? What are the patterns in your physical practice that drain or promote your energy? As you step outside of this yoga practice and into the rest of your day, I invite you to bring moments of observation just like that. As you're in the middle of an activity, notice, is that activity draining or promoting your energy? And how can you lean towards the things that sustain and promote your energy? Remember or call to mind something that you can offer gratitude for now as we prepare to close. And remember your intention for this practice. Remember to whom or what you dedicated today's practice. And let's close chanting 3 ohms together. Inhale deeply. Bow in, remembering the light that resides within you. The light in me bows to the light in you. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.